What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Wildcat Cave. Before we go any further, I want to say a few things. Number one is I want to recognize all the victims of the tornado that came through western Kentucky the past week. It was one of the worst and most deadly tornadoes in Kentucky history, and it destroyed multiple small towns in that part of the state. I don't know if anyone is watching this from the western part of Kentucky, but please know that the rest of the state is behind you and pulling for you. If there's anything I can offer you, even just a prayer, a word of encouragement, or just a distraction from what you're going through, reach out to me and I will help in any way that I can. Second is I want to apologize for not releasing a video in a little over a week now. It's just been a busy week for me in my personal life with work and the holidays. But I plan to be back on track with these releases starting now. And now for this video. With basketball just now getting into the real part of their schedule and football waiting on their bowl game, we're getting creative with some video topics between now and the new year. So make sure you're subscribed so you're here for all the odd topics that I have planned. I really think you guys are going to enjoy them. And today we are giving out the superlatives for the football team in the 2021 season. Starting off first with the hardest worker on the team. This is a guy who was able to put the team on his back every single time his number was called and made all of the tough plays for the Cats. This is, of course, Chris Rodriguez. C-Rod rushed for 205 times this season for the Cats and racked up over 1,200 yards on the ground, and that led to 10 touchdowns on the year for him. Those numbers led the SEC for the majority of the season and cemented him among the top 3 running backs in the SEC by all metrics and most opinions. If he comes back for a senior season, I believe that there's a chance he's talked about as one of the best running backs in the country. Up next is the Most Team Spirit Award. This is one you may think would go to a guy who had been around the program for a while and really loved Kentucky, or maybe even a kid from Kentucky, but not for me. No one seemed to embrace Big Blue Nation and the idea of Kentucky versus all y'all more than Will Levis. I mean, look at these pictures. The dude was on campus for 6 months and was so deeply immersed into the Louisville rivalry. If us fans didn't already love him before that, this all but solidified his place in the hearts of Big Blue Nation. I really believe that he loves the program, loves the team, loves the fans, but most importantly, he loves Kentucky. He was supposed to have an autograph signing the other day for himself just to make some spending money, some NIL money. But instead, he invited his teammates out, and they decided to donate all of their profits to benefit those affected by the tornadoes in western Kentucky. They raised over $20,000 that they could have put in their own pockets, but they cared so much, led by Will Levis. Those guys cared so much, they gave all of that money to the victims of the tornado. I personally believe that actions speak louder than words, and everything he has done shows me that he bleeds blue. Third here, we have the Comeback Cat Award. For me, this is a guy who had a promising season ahead of him last year and ultimately suffered a season-ending ACL injury. That guy is J.J. Weaver. J.J.'s a guy that helped lead the defense for the Cats this year along with Josh Paschal and Jaquez Jones. But for J.J. to come off an ACL injury like he had and then have 34 tackles with 6.5 sacks and accounted for 3 turnovers this season, that was way more than any fan could have bargained for from a guy coming off an injury like that. It seemed like he was the one constant on the defensive side of the ball this year for Kentucky. When other guys were struggling, he was always there to make the play. Next, we're giving out our Most Likely to Succeed award. This one is going to go to my pick to who I believe will have the most success in the NFL. The guy I picked may not be the first person you think of, but it should be. And that person is offensive lineman Darian Kinnard. Darian was a dude who could have went to the draft last year, but wanted to finish what he started here in Lexington, and if anything, he played his way into a higher pick and more money. This season alone, he racked up first-team All-American, first-team All-SEC, the Jacobs Blocking Award, and is a Joe Moore Award finalist. On top of that, he is also the highest-ranked offensive lineman according to Pro Football Focus, and he also had 30 knockdown blocks. If he can avoid injury, I think this dude's going to have a long, successful run in the NFL. And finally, that brings us to our MVP, a guy who has truly been a game changer for not only this team, but for the program as a whole. He has forever cemented his name in UK record books, and without him, Kentucky does not have the historic season that they're on right now. Without surprise, I'm talking about Wan'Dale Robinson. Against Louisville, he set the all-time single-season reception record with 94. He is second in single-season receiving yards, fourth in receiving yards in a game, and finished the year with 7 touchdowns, and I believe a second-team All-SEC player. If we're talking just explosive playmaking ability, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find many people better than Wan'Dale. Because of Wan'Dale and Liam Cohen, Kentucky has recruited athletes and players that would have never considered UK before. If you need any proof of that, go look at the top 10 recruiting class Stoops has just signed. Wan'Dale was this season's MVP by far. That is going to do it for this one, guys. The one award I did not mention is Most Improved. Let me know in the comments who you believe that should be. It could be a guy who made a huge jump from where they were last year to this year, or a guy who just started this season a little slow and finished strong. But let me know your opinion on who is the most improved down in the comments. Be sure that you are subscribed to the channel as well. We have some exciting football and basketball videos coming up with some pretty crazy topics I think you guys are going to enjoy and you won't want to miss. So make sure you hit that subscribe button now, and I will see you guys in the next one. Go Cats!